That was the record before us, and here we are, pre-recorded, because we did this a few weeks ago, because we're not here at the moment, are we? We're away in that. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Hello there.
And Karl Pilkington.
He's not actually with us,
No.
he'll be in some of the best of clips that will be coming up shortly.
Yeah, this is just us, isn't it?
This is just us. We did this, when did we do this, Rick? A couple of weeks back.
Hold on, what is it? What
It's the
day is it?
27th today.
Yeah,
I enjoyed Christmas, I loved Christmas.
I loved Christmas.
I had a great
Christmas.
time. What did you get?
Loads of presents.
So did
and
I.
I'm glad they made it to #1.
I'm really glad.
Stroke, he, she.
Yeah, I'm really glad that the pop idols, Cliff Richard, Westlife, made it to #1.
Bo Selector.
Bo Selector.
Yeah, just delete that. As,
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to play some of the best of, some of the greatest moments of the last 3 weeks
Yeah.
ever heard on XFM 104.9. What about this? Do you remember this one?
Oh, which one is it?
I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Over there, Karl Pilkington. The man who believes anything. I think it might be a condition due to his little round head. It's sort of like, it might be a new condition that we can call cranial sphericity. And because it presses on his lobes, and the only sort of upshot of that is he's normal in every way, but he believes everything he reads or sees on Anna Nova. Alright?
Talking of which, Rick, I don't really follow the news.
No.
It's mainly boring, innit? Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't know...
Well, yeah. Well, it is a war. It's just, it's all this nonsense before and after. When it's a war, it's, you know, it's in the middle of the war, you can watch it on telly.
True.
You get results.
True,
You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a test match or something. But it's all this rubbish before and after. It drags on.
This recent war seemed, I thought, just generally, it was better presented than the previous one. Because I remember the
Well,
Gulf,
they're getting-
the first Gulf War, it was often during the night, and I
Disappointing.
couldn't stay up.
Yeah,
and stuff.
because I think the American had rights to it, like the Tyson fight, so we had to get it at 2 in the morning.
Exactly.
Which is annoying. They had it at, you know, their prime time and that.
Yeah,
And a lot of
yeah.
it was in black and white, when
A
the
lot of it
bombs
was
went
black
in.
and white with the bombs going in and
So,
stuff. This
no,
time there seemed to be a lot more colourful stuff.
Yeah, it's much better coverage. I think they should win awards
Yeah, well, I'd like to
for
see
it.
awards,
So,
yeah.
like Channel 4 won for cricket.
Yeah, I mean, a few times as well, I was quite pleased to see they actually had footage of the bombs exploding.
Yeah.
from buildings and stuff.
Yeah. No, good. Well done.
Generally, you know.
Good on you. Well done. Good on you.
Yeah, I don't know if
Costs a lot though, doesn't it?
It isn't a costly
War's
thing.
a lot more when you got something like, you know, a Jimmy Carr game show, which probably costs about £100.
Yeah.
Like half an hour war costs
know.
millions.
It's almost as
man.
expensive as like Terminator 3 or something.
Yeah. But I mean, you know.
But then, you know...
you got a variety.
Exactly.
Sorry, Steve, you were talking, mate.
Well, no, I just wanted to make sure you're aware that the World Elephant Polo Championships have taken place.
I did get it. I
You're
think
aware
they
of that?
mentioned it on. Yeah, we won, didn't we?
England won.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, where have they been practicing?
I don't know.
Do you remember ever at school anyone ever saying to you, "Are you interested in playing polo
Do you
with
reckon
elephants?"
do you reckon it was 5 blokes in pith helmets kept sneaking into a whipsnade?
Possibly.
What are you doing, lads? We're practicing. Get down.
Yeah.
Get off them elephants.
Yeah. I didn't even know we had a team. I can't
Elephant-
believe it.
no,
But it's like Johnny Wilkinson and the rugby lads, they're going to get MBEs, all sorts. The elephant boys, the elephant polo boys, nothing.
They're gonna get nothing.
I haven't seen the
But
sun
you know,
talking about
to
them.
be fair, it's not like horse polo where I don't think there's a stick long enough. I think the elephants kick it, don't they?
I think you might be right. I think they're not allowed to use their tusks.
They burst it, weren't they?
I think that's...
They go, oh,
Start again.
Raheem!
Yeah.
What do you mean the elephants kick it?
Alright, I've opened a can of worms here. You know, normal polo on a horse, they have like,
Yeah, stake and
mallets.
that.
yeah, they whack them, right? But I think it's, obviously they're too high up. I think, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they just train the elephant to kick it.
So
it's like-
why are people something about? Why not just let them have a kick about without...
Imagine that! And why does horse racing have to have a jockey? Well, they just let the horses go, oh, yeah, okay, lads, on your, no cheating, on your marks, get set, go. You, no, get back here. Get back here. Brilliant. Play record.
Right, Adams?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, this is absolutely fantastic.
His version of Wonderwall. If you've not heard it
Beautiful.
yet, you'll be loving it.
You'll be loving this. This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
I hope you're enjoying the Best Of.
There's a fella who, was in a coma for 20 years. Just, they kept, like, taking him through, like, the normal day. They'd take him to Alton Towers and stuff. Doesn't know anything about it, just kept going through the motions. Don't know if they kept charging him. Kept putting him through all that. He eventually came out of it. 20 years.
And went, stop taking me to Alton Towers, it's shit.
I I just thought, imagine how much
stop
post he had.
making, eh?
How much post?
Oh,
Did you read about that guy in the paper, Carl? He, sorry, on the internet. He in about, I think it was about 1984, 85, he had a terrible car accident.
But this must be it.
He went into a coma.
This must be what he's talking about.
Well, they didn't take him to Alton Towers.
Of course they didn't. But you've got to try and decipher the truth from the conjecture, from the thing that I mean, don't forget, Carl says, realises that he's had a dream. He talks to Suzanne and goes, that was good, wasn't it, last night we were in the plane? She goes, no, that's a dream. He goes, oh yeah, where's my cornflakes? You got to, you know what I mean? I can now decipher what he's actually seen, what he's read.
Well, go on, what did you...
Well, I'm assuming it's the same guy.
It is the same guy.
It was a guy in some small American town, and he'd had a car crash, and he'd gone into a coma, and his wife had left him. She'd gone on with her life, because he'd been in a coma since then, and he had just woken up recently.
Marriage wasn't working.
Marriage wasn't working. He just wasn't paying enough attention. He actually had, she was pregnant at the time, and so now his daughter is basically the same age as he was when he went into the coma. And he's just started coming around, he's just started making jokes. They said, how do you feel? He said horny, which I thought was quite witty for a man who'd been in a coma for however many years. But anyway, yeah, so he's slowly trying to rebuild what life he can.
That's
what do you make
interesting.
of that, though? Because the thing is that he's missed. Imagine what he's missed, Carl. Imagine the music that he's missed. The
Live
TV
Aid.
programs,
Missed
the
Live
news.
Aid.
Live Aid. He's missed.
He missed
completely. The
Phil
Spice
Collins
Girls.
playing in 2 continents in one day.
Which, frankly, I'd be devastated if I discovered that.
Missed
happened.
Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't. So he put on ripped jeans and they go passe.
They just have to send him a series of those I Love 1986
Exactly.
programs with Kate Thornton filling him in on what he's missed.
Exactly. Peter Kay reminding him of space operas.
Yeah,
he
Richard
remembers
Blackman
those.
talking rubbish.
Yeah. So
Extraordinary, though, isn't it, Carl, to think? No, obviously
So,
not.
had he aged much? Because he hadn't had any problems or anything, no worries.
well,
Is
he
that- is that
wouldn't. He probably wouldn't have physiologically. He probably wouldn't have the wear and tear of a 43-year-old man
Was that a good
because
kid?
he wouldn't have had sun. He wouldn't have had sort of nicotine, beer.
Unless they were just feeding that to him.
Anyway,
to try and
still,
bring him round.
yeah, yeah. So
You'd feel groggy though, wouldn't you?
yeah, you might feel a bit groggy. Yeah, yeah,
Well, he's not fully back to normal. I mean, there'll
No,
be some
it's-
kind of residual brain damage.
yeah.
But nevertheless, he can form sentences. He's got no real memory, so he can't remember a lot of things.
It was just when I saw
Carl,
it,
have you
that's
been in an accident? The Brilliant Blur, Out of Time on XFM 104.9.
One of my
post-Christmas.
favourite singles of the year, and that's another thing. We'll be playing our favourite singles of the year, as well as our favourite clips of our own show.
Rick, I imagine if people have got a bit of Christmas money, they're wondering what they can spend it on.
Office DVD.
Well, other than that, these guys have got some ideas.
What, adverts? Brilliant. Placebo, Bitter End, on XFM 104.9. This is pre-recorded. We recorded this a couple of weeks ago, before Christmas. I hope you had a great Christmas. If you didn't, not our fault, really, is it?
Nothing to do with us.
Wouldn't have thought we'd have...
We're well over time, because we've got plenty of cash now, thanks to a lot of you who probably bought the Office DVD.
Yeah.
Probably got
And
that
if you
in
haven't
stock.
yet, and you've maybe got vouchers or money, still available.
Still there in the shops.
Still available. You can still make it the best-selling DVD of all time.
Please.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do. I'll tell you what you want to hear, though, before you make your mind up. I'll tell you what, if you like this next clip, go and buy the Office DVD. I think you will. It's a brilliant clip.
It's the one where we talk about, well, it's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
What's the best job you've ever had still, Carl? Talk like basis. It is still
Paper
the,
round.
Is it still the paper round?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
No, it was good though. If you look at it, like, you know, what I liked about it, you're your own boss.
No, you're not. You're not your own boss.
No, the guy
The
who runs
news
the news
agent is your boss.
Alright. But then once you get out and you've got your papers and that, you sort of, you're on your
Do
own.
what you want
can
as long
think
as you
about
deliver the
stuff.
papers exactly to the places he said you are in the time he said.
Yeah.
It's
And I did.
freedom, isn't it? Any jobs you wouldn't do?
Go
I've just thought of one that you wouldn't do
on.
with your sort of mild homophobia.
Well, I'm not.
Proctologist.
What's that?
Basically sticking your finger at other people's arses.
Right, well, I wouldn't do that, no. Why have you got to do that?
What do you mean, why have you got to do
Well,
that?
why does anyone need that doing?
Does they got to look if they've got an arseache or something?
Which trainee doctor makes that their speciality?
Do you know what I mean? That must be, right, we got a place for proctologists, and it's you, Meadows. You
Yeah.
came last.
Oh, seriously, what? I'm not the arse doctor, am I?
Yeah, you came last.
Oh, I'm a bum GP. I can't
yeah,
believe it.
yeah. You got to, oh, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
I got a text from Carl yesterday, Steve.
A text from Carl, yeah.
Yeah. I'll just read it to you. Okay, see you to Moz for a face rub at 6:30 then.
No bum tubes, though. So I was intrigued, and I called Carl and said, I think you've just sent me a text by mistake. What's the explanation of that?
My mate, right, Russell, he said, you know, there's things that go on in life that you need to experience.
Yeah.
He said, just pop along, and I didn't say yes straight away.
What's a face rub? You mean a facial? Where you lay down...
You just clean your face with a flannel
yeah.
and that.
So
but
you're going to go lie down with another man and have your face
well,
fiddled
no,
with?
this is what I was saying to him. There's a couple of questions. I didn't just say yes straight away. I questioned it. I said, well, I'm not that happy with this. So I said, look, there's nothing weird going on here, is there? I said, it's not a house, is it? It's a proper clinic and that. He said, yeah, it's proper. You wear a dressing gown and that. I said, well, I'm not that
So
happy
he's
with
already
that.
got you in the dressing gown?
Yeah, well, I haven't agreed to that. Today I've worn a little round polar neck sort of jumper so I don't have to take it off. It's not going to get in the way of my face. I made sure I didn't wear a shirt with a collar. I'm not taking this off. They can put the dressing gown on top of this.
Right.
I don't know if it's a woman who rubs my head. Don't know if it's a bloke or whatever.
Well, the thing is, you get extra, don't you, for your face rub, because your face goes all the way back over the top of your head down to the back of your neck.
But all I was,
so you've got a big face, haven't you?
All I was saying to him is, I'll have the face rub, but I don't know if once you're in there,
Right.
they try and sell you the old
The
bum tube thing.
what's a bum tube? Is that a euphemism? What are you talking about?
The thing where they pop a tube in and put coffee in your belly and it cleans you out and that. I said,
An
I'm not-
enema? Why would you have that?
I don't want it. I don't think
Why
you
not?
need to. Just because I think I've said to you before about, you know, you don't need to be that clean inside. You know what I mean? I don't mind washing my face. But what occasion do you need where you're that cleaned out? Do you know what I mean? And it's always a clear tube and that, and you see all the stuff whizzing past. I don't understand why it's clear. I don't know why you've got to see what's coming out of you. Like it's, you know, like the generation game, making notes of what's whizzing past. Forget it.
I was watching some different TV, saw an amazing documentary. It was called Tribes. This guy, and he goes and lives with different tribes around the world, these small little indigenous people. And there was one, he went to Papua New Guinea in Indonesia, right, Carl? He lived with the Kombai tribe. All right. Now, this Papua New Guinea is an extraordinary place because it is one of the only places left on Earth that hasn't been fully explored. There are parts of it that it's just blank on the map because they've never explored there. They don't know what's there. They don't know what's going on. So, firstly, that must already freak you out. Imagine that. 21st century, they have no idea what's going on down there.
But do they need to know if there's nothing going on?
Well, they don't know what's going on. There could be stuff going on.
No, but there's no chance that they'll go, we haven't been over there, and someone goes and there's like an Arndale centre. Nothing's going to be there, is it? So there's no...
Well,
no
I'll tell you
point.
what is there, okay? There's these various small tribes. Some of these tribes are still cannibals, eating people from other tribes.
Do they know they could move on? Have they got a telly? Or have they seen a telly and gone, I'm not up for that? Or are they saying...
It's not the Amish.
They haven't chosen
But what
this.
is the difference between the Amish and these people?
Well, the Amish are a group of people that choose to live in that way. These people are just essentially untouched by civilization. I mean, they do have interaction with civilization and people do come there, but they still live in this very, very almost prehistoric way.
They did buy a telly, but there was nothing on because there isn't any broadcasters.
They couldn't plug it in.
Yeah.
They're having an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
But there was one guy, okay, now he said that his brother was dying. This was a couple of years ago, right? His brother was dying. He said to his dying brother, what happened? Why are you dying? This guy said it was a bloke in another village. Okay, he goes over to the other village. He kills this other bloke, right? He eats him, or eats bits of him. The other village gets a bit annoyed. They go, what's going on? Why did you kill this bloke? He went, sorry about that, right? They said, well, you need to make it up to us. He gave him a pig. They said, a pig's not enough. They gave him 5 pigs, so 5 pigs apparently made up for the fact that they'd killed one of them. They said, well, hang on, what are you going to do with this bloke's wife?
Why were they bartering? Why didn't they just get the police in and say, what's going on?
What police?
Yeah. Why didn't they call in Kojak? Because he'd have sorted it out, wouldn't he?
What I mean is, right, they're miles away from anything, but it doesn't sound like the great place to live, right? Could they not move? Could one of them go, do you know what, I'm sick of this. I'm moving or whatever and go to a proper city. How far away is this these Papa people to the next
They're like the Smurfs. They're very like the Smurfs.
But how many miles away from a place with a normal life going on?
But think about this, Carl. Firstly, they don't speak the language. So they don't have any practical skills. They've got no experience of civilization. So even if they chose to go and live in one of these cities, what can they do? How can they function?
I think there's some bacteria that has better lives than that.
That's got to be offensive.
Why?
Okay, how about this is one of the weirdest things. This is one of the weirdest things, right?
Sorry. An entire people, an entire race
Just
of people.
dismiss.
No,
Just
no,
dismiss.
I'm not having a go, but I'm just saying I wouldn't fancy it, is what I mean.
But they
You know what I
don't
mean? We're living
know
in
of
ice.
another world. How can they imagine that they could... Oh, I'll tell you what, this is boring. I'm tired of hunting for food and eating fish from the river. I'll tell you what, I'd like a world where there's iPods and room service. I'm going to go and move to New York. They're not thinking like that, are they, Carl? Because they don't know about this other world.
People go to these places on holiday now. They like a little bit of danger. They like to see how the others live. So all I'm saying is, we know they exist. The Papa people, maybe people aren't going there. You know, it doesn't sound like the best place. You know, I can't imagine it having a tourist board or anything, right? But would they accept me if I popped over there and, you know, with Suzanne in Papa?
Well, okay, this is one of the things that they do, okay, which is a tradition you may have to do. These combine, right, they invert their penises. So they push their penises back up inside their bodies.
Like a sock.
What for?
Well,
Keeps it out of the way.
Of what?
Well, if you're running through the undergrowth chasing a hog, you don't want it flapping away, you know. But it's also become a kind of ceremonial thing. So if you were over there, you may well have to try it yourself.
You would have to try it yourself. If you went there, you'd have to try it yourself.
Definitely.
But even cavemen had little pants on. Why haven't they?
Whoa!
Slow down.
Rewind.
What do you mean?
Again, you've been watching the Flintstones.
No. It's just, you know.
Is it a leopard skin pair of pants that's actually quite a... Go on.
But it's a well-known fact that they wore like bear pants or whatever.
Bare pants. What do you mean, bare pants? No. Listen, you are a qualified anthropologist. So what?
I mean that, you know, whenever you see them on footage or in a museum.
Footage.
Yeah. Whenever
or
you see that
Well,
early
it's a bit
documentary
shaky,
footage.
innit? It's black and white as well, isn't it? Caveman footage.
You always see them wearing a little bit of fur little pants and that. So what I'm saying is, even though what year is it to these people in the woods?
I don't know what this conversation is anymore. He's just clutching at straws. His mind, it's like a fly. His mind, isn't it? It's just buzzing round. It's trying to find a window. It is just
It's
like
hitting against pieces of information, but then just bouncing off.
Yeah.
Dazed to perplex.
Forget it then.
I was shopping with Carl before Christmas, and we went round sort of Piccadilly and St James's, and those really beautiful shops around there. And I went in one shop. You had to ring a bell to enter.
Yeah.
They came down, and it's like a iconoclastic sort of shop, and they found things from churches and nearly all Russian 16th century pieces onwards. This beautiful carvings and paintings and statues. And I went, oh, it's beautiful. And as I was looking round, I heard Carl sidle up to the bloke and go, what's the newest thing you've got here?
Yeah. Sure, that's his first thought.
I mean, that is the wrong question to ask of a man who's clearly in antiques.
Yeah.
Proud of the fact he's got 16th century iconoclastic Russian stuff, to ask, what's the newest thing you've got here? What sort of question is that? Oh, I don't know, probably the doorbell. I don't know, what does he want to say with my shirt? What were you thinking?
hoping for?
And I think it's an alright question, because he was saying there's loads of old stuff in there, and he kept going on about the old stuff. So what did he say? Well, what's the newest thing you've got?
And what was
Do you know
the
what he
newest
said
thing?
to it? The other question he asked him? He said, how often do you get new stuff in? And I said to him, why did you ask that? He said, well, I was thinking, if you got antiques and you sell it all, what's left? Like someone's going to sell all the antiques in the world because they're not making any new stuff. What does that mean? They're not making any new stuff.
But I know for a fact no one's ever going to go in there and buy the lot anyway. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I'm not at any point in my life, and I don't think it'll ever happen, will I go, I need some old Russian wood. Because
It was brilliant.
No,
it was, Steve.
no.
It was beautiful. It's amazing stuff. There's stuff. There's these things from the 16th century of sort of like saints and monks, and they're carved
But
and
there's
they're.
loads of it. It's just all piled up. No one's interested. If I was him, I'd go, do you know what? I'm into this, but no one else is. Close shop. Because seriously, it's just piled up, piles on piles of like old bits of wood with pictures on it and that.
But
There was
think
one
of a
fella,
man. Just think of a man 400 years ago that carved this.
No, but nobody wants it, do they? I've never heard anyone say, you know, oh look, it's my birthday coming up. I'll tell you what I'd love.
What?
Bit of old Russian wood.
Ash, there's a star on XFM 104.9. Now, Steve.
Yes.
Carl text messaged me in the week, very excited, because he just watched a programme that proved me and you were stupid. Remember we sort of championed the anti-supernatural?
Yes. Sceptical view.
We're just absolutely sceptical about things like that. We're atheists. We don't believe in ghosts, anything like that. Anything supernatural. We're followers of James Randi, a genius of our times. But Carl saw something that proved us wrong. I'd like Carl to tell you what this proof was, what he saw it on, and look at him. Go on then.
It was on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I was watching. You see, the problem is I didn't get the full story, so you could pick holes out of it.
Sure.
Unlike your usual investigations into the supernatural,
Which are
it
thorough.
was called. Can I just say what the programme was called?
Mr. Exorcist.
Oh, brilliant.
So
Sounds like an academic work to me.
the bit that I caught, I just flicked it over, sort of seeing what's on the telly, and I thought, oh, Exorcist, I've seen it, but there's nothing else, and I watch it, and then I realised it wasn't the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, I'll have a bit of this. And there was an old woman and a daughter, and as far as I was aware, the bit I picked up on, they were saying, oh, you know, it's dreadful, and unless you've been through it, you know, you've had ghosts in your house and that, you really don't know what it's like.
Yeah, sure.
And the main thing that seemed to be getting them down was the fact that the budgie was getting stressed.
The budgie was getting stressed.
Because animals can sense the other side,
Oh,
can't
okay.
they?
Can they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And how was that manifesting itself? You don't know. What was the budgie doing?
I think it just wasn't happy.
Right. Did it explain that to people, or
No,
how
do you
did it
know,
express
I mean,
that?
budgies are known for being chirpy, aren't they?
I said it
And
wasn't chirping.
you know, it normally swings on its little perch and that. And
Just depressed because it was
Right.
possessed.
It was just sat around in its pajamas.
so
No, come on,
So
Steve.
the-
Come on, Steve. You're making this a mockery. So the budgie was depressed because he could sense the ghost.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
this
yeah,
this guy, this Mr. Exorcist, came round.
Was that his name?
Yeah,
Was he a priest or something?
yeah, he might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I picked up
Did he
on
have
the end.
like a black coat with a little white collar? That's usually the.
He had his coat on, so you couldn't tell.
No, sure. Okay.
But so he came round and he sort of did his thing,
Yeah.
and then
And was he
the
trying?
next shot,
Was he trying to exorcise the budgie?
No, the
ghost.
house.
Right.
The
I
house,
see. It
yeah.
wasn't that the budgie had a demon or
clearing the
anything.
house
No.
out.
Okay.
No, this
So-
wasn't a possession, was it? This was a straightforward. It wasn't a poltergeist or anything. It was just a.
Well, a haunted house.
Yeah, but there's
Sure.
that's the thing he was saying. He was saying you can have like your ghouls and that aren't that bad, that aren't going to cause you any
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah,
But obviously the budgie, they've got weak hearts and that, haven't they? And
Sure.
I
So
don't
so
know.
he go on. So how?
so anyway, basically he sorted it out, did whatever he did, and the next shot you see is like the budgie making a noise and swinging
It's
about.
happy
It's
again.
over the moon again, and the old woman was like happy because she was.
She couldn't
getting
believe her luck.
stressed.
Yeah.
And that's
The
it.
priest didn't come in and go, well, you should feed that bird. Give it a bit of millet. It was happy. He goes, right.
No,
See you
it's-
later. No. It was a. So
Because I mean, budgies are. My mum's got a budgie, and they you know, they're fairly happy all the time, aren't they? So it's got to be something fairly odd.
Right.
you never see a budgie sitting down going, I feel like topping myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Though?
No.
Do you know
no.
you can have like a moody dog? You can see a dog when it's unhappy if it's walking
Yeah.
down the street.
You can have a moody canary, can't you? And what they do is they often tell the police what you've been doing. They're known for that.
Mm.
Yeah.
So basically,
So that for you is proof that the supernatural exists. A bird in a cage got a little bit annoyed, wasn't chirping as much as it normally did. Who knows why? There could have been a little draft up its, and
Cloaca.
exactly.
That's
Anyway,
a medical term.
Anyway, a man
just-
came in and did whatever he did.
Yeah.
to use your phrase.
Mr. Exorcist, though, Steve.
Yeah.
This wasn't any bloke off the street. This was Mr. Exorcist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And for you, that's the proof that there's.
just because like if it was a person, you go, oh, they're playing up for the camera.
yeah,
you know,
a budgie could possibly act like that, Steve.
Yeah, I see what you mean. You're saying a budgie would not be trying to. It wouldn't be trying to become famous. or just
No,
want to get
not
on the
like
telly.
Lassie.
No, sure.
It was
sure.
basically a show off.
Yeah, or
So-
Champion the Wonder Horse.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think
I've changed my tune, Rick. I don't know about you.
I have, and I think we should play a record.
I'd love to get Mr. Exorcist in. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Never dabble with things you don't understand,
Sorry.
like women. See what I did there?
Oh, he's turned that back on me.
Girls and boys there, Steve, on XFM 104.9. So it's not so bad, really, because we didn't plan anything.
No.
We've proved the supernatural. We were wrong about that.
Well, just one other question. Was there anything else in this woman's house that led her to believe that there were ghosts, or was it just the fact that Tweety or whatever his name wasn't chirping?
You see, this is the problem. I was watching UK Style. I was watching something on that.
What were you watching on that?
It was Do you know, it's not changing rooms, it's like that, but cheaper.
Quite seriously, right? You might be the most interesting man in the world. I'm fascinated by it. I'd like to follow you. I'd like to have a hidden camera on you. I can ask you any question. You know, I'd like to have you in a cupboard in my flat. So I just think about it. I wonder what Carl thinks of that. And I'd just throw something at you, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's what my dad did. Just kept me in the cupboard.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
I wonder what Carl would
You're
think
never
about
stuck
this.
for a conversation point if Carl's around. That's
No,
what's genius about it.
he's always got an opinion. He's got an opinion about everything.
Yeah.
It's
But I love the fact he was watching UK Star without a shadow of irony.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No,
He's
that's,
just
that's,
like,
what,
cool.
no, that's what I like about him.
Exactly, that's what's
I wouldn't
brilliant.
like it if he was trying to be
No, he's not.
kitsch
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I like it because he's down the line, straightforward, no nonsense.
Yeah.
This is what I like. You know what I mean? He is going to be sort of like Jeffrey Boycott, Dickie Bird when he's about like 60 or 70. He's going to get on a bus and go to the driver somewhere. You need an haircut. You look like a scruffy get. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
going to be a great old bloke that you.
Genius.
He doesn't get chinned in the pub.
Yeah.
Right? People protect him. You know, because he's like 70 or something. But it's great. You're looking forward. You're actually in that nod. I know that nod went. I can't wait to be 70.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion that we just get people, they can email in just questions or comments they'd like to hear from Carl. Maybe they just want to know his opinion on the Afghanistan situation.
Yeah, like,
or
you know, like
last
it-
night's Coronation Street, whatever.
Yeah, like they do it. You know, in the NME or magazine that coming up to the election, they go, Billy says Labour.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I think the
Carl.
Sun has White Van Man. Each
Oh,
day they
yeah.
interview a guy who drives a white van, see his opinions on various topics. Carl is very much our white man van. White
Yeah.
man van.
Yeah.
So
I think-
any query you have,
I think most of our listeners are.
any
to be honest.
opinion that you would like to hear voiced from the K-Man, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, or you can phone in. I forget what the number is.
Doesn't matter, does it?
700, 800, 1234.
Sweet.
Now it's time for our first regular feature of the day. That film sounds good.
That film sounds good.
I stopped the film reviews because I've done all the films that were 9 or 10 out of 10. I don't want to
Yep.
drop my standards.
Absolutely.
This is a feature where it's a soundtrack of a film where I like a single from it and might want to see the film, might have seen the film. Today is our first request.
Right, interesting.
This is for Martin, who wants to hear Live in the City by Stevie Wonder, and it's
Genius.
from Jungle Fever.
Let's hear it.
Well, I love the song
It's
and I
an
love the
absolute
film. Living for the City.
Genius.
Stevie Wonder.
The man's
From
a god.
film Jungle Fever.
Absolutely.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
Well, not to be confused with Living in the City, which I think is a Desiree track.
So
never
you
did
know,
that.
because you're a huge
But
Desiree fan. of
we were grooving along to that. It's a great, not my favourite Stevie Wonder track. I actually, for He's Mr. Know-It-All, but a great track. Stevie Wonder's just fantastic anyway. And during that, we just had heads down, we just like, just enjoying the moment. We said, turn it up, didn't we? We liked it. Carl, just halfway through, just looking at me, he's got a driving licence.
Yep.
I went, what? He went, he's got a driving licence. I went, as he went, yeah, just for his own land. I went, you don't need a driving licence for your own land. He went, you might be right. He said, who else is blind?
I remember hearing something. It was someone famous
Right.
who shouldn't have a driving licence,
Well,
and they have. And I'm sure
lot
it's
of people.
Someone who's, I'm sure it was someone who's blind. But you're right. It's a bit of an odd one.
isn't it? No, but don't forget, this hasn't just happened, this is in your head. So you can't say that and go, isn't that weird? How did that happen? It's in your head, don't forget, at the moment. There is no proof
There's
of
no
this.
proof of that.
You can't say something and then go, isn't that strange? You said it.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? We didn't just see something happen out the window. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? What's in your head and what happened and all that? What are you thinking?
I'm just thinking, who's that other fella?
Ray Charles.
Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Why would he have a driving licence? He's blind as well. I think it's the blind thing we've got a problem with. It's the idea of people who are blind driving cars that's maybe made us
Yeah.
question that. I mean, Stevie may have a driving licence. I very much doubt that he's passed his test.
No.
He probably hasn't even... I mean, he could have done the theory one, maybe. But
And
that's
it-
touchscreen.
And until Labradors actually are allowed on the Queen's Highway,
Exactly.
I don't think we'll see many blind people driving
I
cars.
might be wrong.
You might be, mightn't you? Oh, we hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you might be wrong.
Could well be
Well,
wrong.
there's a start. I fancy a bit of Ed Hardcore about now.
Well, Rick, you've embarrassed yourself because his name's Harcourt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just play the song, Carl.
Black Rebel Motorcycle Club and Love Burns, XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
My name's Steve Merchant.
Carl, what's your name?
I press the buttons.
That's it.
Carl, I press the button.
Yeah. Oh, bless him. He's
People
got
are loving the K-Man, aren't they?
They are. People are saying they love him. He's just. Oh.
He is. He's
I
adorable.
think we've created a whole new Will McDonald.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
Carl!
Or Gordon the Gopher.
I used to have a show in Manchester.
You
Did
used
ya?
to host a show.
Yeah, overnights.
What kind of things was it? What kind of stuff?
What sort of tip were you on?
Phone-ins and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did a phone-in?
Not a proper one.
What did people phone in about?
No, they didn't. That was what the problem. There was no phones. Go on.
No, just, you know, how things were going and that.
Problems. Were you like an agony uncle?
Kind of.
That's amazing. Imagine that. Imagine sending someone to Carl. You got problems? Is it delicate? We'll go to Carl Pilkington.
Hang on, looks like maybe there's some questions
Oh, we've got,
coming
I've
in.
got a few questions here.
me
What's
just-
the one, what's Carl's view on...
Carl, what do you make of nudism?
Who's that
Just
from?
check- let me just check who that's from. Hang
Sort of
on.
there's a time and a place for it.
That's from, it's very difficult to tell.
That's
on
great,
these
you see.
things. There's a time and a place for it.
That is just brilliant. That is Dickie Bird. That's that sort of northern, confident soundbite. What do you think of nudism? Time and a place for it.
There's a time and a place
Would you
for
do it, Steve?
Would I do nudism?
Yeah.
He's not allowed.
Not again.
No,
Yeah.
It's not nice, is it, really?
No, it's not with Steve. He's not allowed on any National Trust land doing it because he's caused the death of millions of starlings.
That's
See,
true.
there was something on BBC Choice the other night. It's a really short show. I haven't seen it before. Like an odd
It's
court
not.
thing.
It's not a bloke eating copper soup and then another short show like maybe someone cleaning their teeth with Colgate and then the really short show. What was it? Go on.
No, what it was about this old fella who he's into nudism, and he was saying he's done all right.
Did he
out
play
of it.
volleyball a lot?
He said he's done all right out of it because there's not many blokes who are willing to go nude for modelling and that, and he's
Yeah.
about 70, so it's not.
Is there much cry for that? Do you think? Is there much demand for a
He's doing
70-year-old
all right.
nude?
He's doing all right for it.
Sure. Good luck to him.
And the odd thing was, you see,
He had a corkscrew penis.
he was just like walking around on a main road in like a
In the bug.
seaside town, and
Right.
yeah, and cars would.
See, that's not nudism, is it? That's mental illness.
Yeah, he's just a bit div.
Yeah.
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 So
I tell you, one of your favourite programmes, isn't one of your favourite programmes just that one with the hot air balloon? And it's
Yeah, you
adventures.
love that, don't
It just
you?
goes, it's like
Oh,
in
you love
Sydney,
that.
sometimes then it's at a carnival.
His favourite programme when he was little, he used to watch it for hours, was that Little Girl by a Blackboard with two toys.
Yeah.
He used to love
You
that, didn't you?
enjoyed that, didn't you?